Welcome back to Simple Deals, Hauls, and Coupons. Today I have the Dollar General penny list with a markdown list for October 29th. We have a lot of markdowns. I'd like to thank the freebieguy.com for posting the penny and the markdown list. He has a great website at thefreebieguy.com. He offers all kinds of freebies and deals, and he adds new freebies and deals every day. If you haven't checked out that site, you should go check it out. Now this markdown list is a little bit different because most of the markdowns are going to be occurring on the 29th, the new ones. And this particular one is going to start on November 1st. That is all Halloween items like Halloween seasonal, apparel and socks, Halloween party, and Halloween candy. 25% off as of November 1st. New markdown list for October 29th. Aged party, 90% off. As seen on TV, 10% off as of October 29th. Also on the new markdown list for October 29th, back to school hardware, 90% off. Also on the new markdown list for October 29th, back to school stationery, 90% off. A few examples shown here. Beehive Home is 70% off as of October 29th. Blueprints Home, that's Green Clover Home, 70% off as of October 29th. Also on the markdown list for October 29th, Purple Dot Home will be 90% off. July 4th seasonal, 90% off as of October 29th. Major League Baseball and Major League Soccer items, and I believe that's apparel, is 90% off as of October 29th. Also on the new markdown list for October 29th, Mother's Day and Valentine's apparel, 90% off. Also on the new markdown list for October 29th, NC Summer Insect, that's 90% off. Patriotic Party is 90% off as of October 29th. Private brand Sun Care, 90% off as of October 29th. New markdown list for October 29th. Shades of Gray, that's Purple Clover Home, 70% off. Safari Home, Purple Clover Home, Party, 70% off as of October 29th. Also on the new markdown list for October 29th, Spring Stationery Party, 90% off. Okay, now we're on the regular markdown list, which these have been running for like a long time. But the $1 summer barbecue fun is going to be 70% off. $1 spring happy home, that's green clover home, 70% off as of October 29th. Baking tier table, green clover home, 70% off. Black paper, stationery and apparel, 70% off. Fiesta table tier, 70% off as of October 29th. Again, this is just on that main markdown list that's been running for a while. Kids Dino tier table, purple dot home, 70% off. That's still running at 70% off as of October 29th. Lawn and Garden is 70% off as of October 29th. And it does exclude charcoal, citronella, coolers, fans, grills, hoses, lighter fluid, live plants, potting soil, and propane. And still on the markdown list, we have pink square swim and summer toys, 70% off. Look for that pink square on the tag. It does exclude bubbles and chalk. Also still on the markdown list, we have the yellow dot spring, summer accessories and shoes, 70% off. You want to look for that yellow dot on the tag. It does exclude flip-flops and slippers. Okay, and the markdown list for October 29th, this is complete. If it's purple, purpley pink is the background, then that means it is old. It's an old markdown. If it is green, that's a new markdown. Okay, so we have the $1 spring happy home green clover, 70% off. $1 summer fun barbecue and fun, 70% off. Those were on the old. As seen on TV, 10% off. That was a new one. Baking tier table, 70% off. That's an old one. Beehive home green clover, 70% off. That's a new one. Our old new markdown list for October 29th. The black paper party stationery and apparel, 70% off. That was on the old markdowns. And then we have the new markdowns here. Blueprints home green clover, 70% off. Back to school hardware and stationery is going to be 90% off. Continuing with that old new markdown list for October 29th. Fiesta tier table, 70% off, and the gray dot socks, 50% off. Those are on the old markdown. July 4th seasonal, 90% off. That's a new markdown. Kids Dino tier table, purple dot, 70% off. That's on that old markdown list. And the Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer apparel, 90% off. That's on the new markdown. Okay, old new markdown list for October 29th. And all the ones on this particular slide are new. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, 90% off. Private brand sun care, 90% off. NC Summer Insect spray, I'm assuming, 90% off. Patriotic Party, 90% off. And the Safari Home, Purple Dot Home, 70% off. The old new markdown list for October 29th continues. Select electronics, 25% off. That's on the old markdown list. Shades of Gray, Home, Purple Dot, that's on the new markdown list, and that's 70% off. Sparkle is 10% off. That's on the old markdown list. Spring Stationery and Party, 90% off. That's on the new markdown list. And the Summer Picnic, 10% off, is on the old markdown. Okay, and the last of our old and new markdown lists for October 29th. Lawn and Garden is 70% off. That's on the old list. Pink Square and Summer Swim Toys, 70% off, old list. And the Yellow Dot Spring Summer Accessories, 70% off. That's on the old list. Okay, as far as I know at this point, there is no new penny list for October 29th. Which leads us to this slide. You never ask Dollar General employees about pennies. I made this mistake when I first started, because I didn't know, I didn't understand how it all worked. So, the reason why we have the pennies, of course, is because Dollar General employees get the list and then they're supposed to pull all the things that are on that list. They're supposed to pull off the shelves. And it's not supposed to be on the floor so that, those don't exist. But if they don't get them off the floor and Tuesday comes around, then if you scan those items that are on the list for that week, then it should ring up a penny. And so, but just don't ask them about it. You just go in and just take a look around. Okay, and then your miles may vary. The YMMV, and when I first started, I didn't know what they were talking about. That just means your miles may vary and items in one area might be a penny and in another area they might be full price. And I've had that happen to me too. So, you just need to make sure that if you find an item that is on the penny list, scan it because it might be a penny, but it might not be a penny. And if you scan it, then you're more like clear when you go up to the checkout, you'll be more confident. Okay, if you are refused a penny item, you can show the Dollar General penny policy because they are supposed to sell it if it's on the floor and it rings up a penny. They're supposed to sell it to you. But, the way I look at it is I don't want to have the confrontation with anyone. So if and I may have been refused a penny item before. I can't really remember. But if that happens to me, I would just say, okay, that's fine. And then I just would not make a big deal about it. But, if you wanted to show them the penny policy and say, hey, it's right here in your store policy, you have to sell that to me, you're supposed to sell that to me, then you most certainly can. It's on the next slide. Okay, and here is the Dollar General penny policy. And it states penny sales should not occur in a store at any time. If an item rings up for a penny, the item should be sold to the customer for a penny. So that's right in their policy. So if you want to just take a picture of that with your phone, you could have that on your phone ready to go if you needed it. Okay, that's all I had for my Dollar General penny list with the markdown list for October 29th. I hope everyone's able to go out and find some really great deals. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll become a subscriber. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.